Good morning, and thank you for joining us on After GMS. I'm Tracy McCain here with my buddy, my pal, meteorologist Ed Matthews. It is Tuesday, September 6th. Hopefully you had a great Labor Day holiday. Whether you're working or you had the day off, we're certainly glad you're with us today.
Yeah, most everybody back to work today. It's going to turn out to be really a pretty nice day. It was a little wet across the Piedmont yesterday. We had nearly 3/4 of an inch of rain measured out at PTI, and we're starting this morning with a lot of clouds, but some of those clouds will break up and we'll see a little sunshine through the day. We take a live look over Burlington. You can see a lot of clouds there. We did have some showers to move through in the overnight period. Those are all gone, even though I couldn't rule out a sprinkle across the Piedmont this morning. The temperature at the Burlington Airport is at 73. The dew point is at 73, and when those numbers equal, that means the air is saturated. The humidity is at 100%. Feels like a steam bath out there this morning. Yesterday, our high was 78 with the clouds and rain showers. We're going to do a little better today as we expect some sun to peek through those clouds midday and on through the afternoon. I think most areas will make it into the mid 80s, up around 84, 85. That afternoon heating could spark an isolated shower or a thunderstorm, but the key word here, isolated, so we don't expect much at all. That backdoor cold front will move through Virginia today and slip through North Carolina later tomorrow. High pressure over the Great Lakes and the northern Ohio Valley will try to sneak in. It's not going to completely build in, but it's going to allow temperatures to cool. After being in the mid 80s today and tomorrow, by Thursday and Friday, we're looking at upper 70s and around 80 over the weekend. But we do anticipate and believe that moisture will override that front in what we call an overrunning process as moisture moves over a frontal boundary, and that usually produces some extra clouds and at least some chance of showers. So we have at least some chance in the forecast right on through the week and into the upcoming weekend. Just a mere 30% chance today. We'll nudge that up a little bit. 40% chance for Thursday, Friday, and through the weekend. Mid 80s today and tomorrow, upper 70s Thursday and Friday, and then near 80 for highs over the weekend. I'm not about to call the weekend a washout at this point. We'll continue to keep an eye on it, but you are going to have to deal with at least some scattered showers right on through Sunday and Monday.
All right, so here is a debate that is trending on social media, and it has all to do about the colors that represent subjects in school. And it's apparently an important conversation as kids start to head back to school across the country. So some of you might have used a notebook for each color associated with each subject. I talked with a couple of coworkers who said when they were in school, they did a lot of, like red was for math, purple was for something else. Well, a lot of experts say that assigning colors help children with organization in their schoolwork, but let's give you an example of what kind of colors we're talking about. So math, they associate with red, history, blue, science, green. Well, what is that about the situation? And I guess this is a trending conversation online. I didn't have that, so I'm not sure.
I need to get with the program because this today, and you can teach an old dog new tricks. This is the first time I have ever heard of this. I have my favorite colors, and that's generally what I went with in school as far as the color of the covers of notebooks. I love my purple.
Yeah.
I love my lavender. I love blue. So those are how I chose my colors, but I didn't know that was a widespread thing. But I think it's rather interesting that you have an association between your school supplies and your different subjects. It's a rather interesting thing, and I think I'm going to have to log on to the internet and read a little bit more on this rather interesting topic.
Yeah, apparently people are really talking about the association with colors. I have not experienced this in my education, and my oldest is too young to really have like multiple subjects and, you know, different folders. But I can see how it can help with organization if you associate, you know, get your math folder and you know it's red, you can pull it out and you know which one you have to work on. But haven't seen that yet, but I always trust the internet. If they're talking about it for a certain reason, then a lot of people are fired up.
Yeah.
So you can easily weigh in on this as well if you've heard about this or not. I did hear from Brenda who said red math, green English, blue was history. And Melita said green for science. So yeah, so a lot of people have done this in their day. I'm waiting for it to come around to my kids because then I could be like, oh yeah, I know all about this. But right now, I'm on the other side.
Yeah, very interesting though, but certainly is something worth researching. So I may be learning some extra things about coordination and school colors over the next few days. Now, you and I perceive you as a very organized person.
I try to be.
I notice you every day. You're very organized. You get things done. You multitask, and I like to do that as well. Right on down to keeping my desk neat and clean and organized. I'm really kind of big on that. So if the colors help, I'm all for it.
Yeah, well, seems like a lot of schools and students are already doing this. All right, oh, by the way, Sean said, I used to cover all my school books with newspaper, which is what I used to do too.
Yeah.
With the paper bags that you get from the grocery store, you kind of wrap your books and that, and then you write on the label, you know, like math, science, you know, whatever the subject was. But apparently this is the way things are going.
Yeah, now I like that you said that because that brought back a memory for me. I use the funny paper, the colored pages.
Yes.
The color pages out of the
Peanuts,
news. Yeah, said Snoopy and Peanuts on there and all that. So yeah, that brought back a rather fond memory of the school days.
Because those were the only sections that were printed in color, unless it was a special
and you gotta
advertisement.
have color. You gotta have color.
You know, I didn't mind the business section. You know, let me check on my stocks while I'm wrapping my book. All right, let's go ahead and get to your morning headlines here. And we do begin with the releasement of funeral plans for Hetty Dawkins. She was the 81-year-old woman who had dementia and wandered away from her High Point home in August. The service, we now know, is this Saturday at Gethsemane Baptist Church in High Point. Visitation is from 11 to 1. The funeral starts shortly afterwards. Her family started this growing memorial near the area where officers discovered her body after a week-long search. The Guilford County Sheriff's Office launched a program to help find people who are suffering from dementia, Alzheimer's, or some other cognitive disorder. It's called Project Lifesaver. It uses a radio locating system to help first responders find people who are lost and suffer from dementia, autism, or some other mental impairment. People enrolled in the program wear a band that allows the Sheriff's Office to find them faster when they're lost. Make sure you reach out to the Sheriff's Office if you would like to know more. Greensboro police need your help finding a missing teenager. 17-year-old Miracle Graves' family says she was last seen at her home on Beckford Drive and has been missing for 6 days. Graves is 5'4" and weighs around 150 pounds. Her hair is dyed burgundy. If you see her, call 911. A tried program giving teenagers who commit small offenses a second chance is really doing good work in Forsyth County. But the Winston-Salem branch of this project is the only one that's partnering with a law school to make an impact. WFMY News 2's Itanese McMiller explains how it works.
Well, 90% of teens referred to teen court do not commit crimes again. Their offenses are weighed here at the Hall of Justice by a real sitting judge with an actual trial. The purpose of the program is to give teens who commit minor crimes a chance to correct their wrongs without having a record. The teens who commit offenses are referred to the program by school resource officers. Kids ages 10 to 17 go through the teen court intake process. Being that they are minors, we are not able to show visuals of the process. But offenses that could land a student in court are fighting, minor drug offenses, having a weapon, or excessive disrespect.
Unfortunately, there are still referrals coming in. We're dealing with some referrals that came in several months ago now because we do have a backlog.
But those who do go through the program, like Donnell Grace, turn their lives around. In high school, she was the lookout while her friend stole items from a store. She was referred to teen court and did her community service. She came back to serve on the other side of the program, where teens are trained by Wake Forest law students to become prosecutors and attorneys in the program. She's now a practicing attorney and coordinator in the program.
Being able to have a second chance and not have a juvenile record has had untold positive results on my life. I can't imagine what things would be like if I had to report that there was this massive incident, or had to have something expunged, or always having to explain away a mistake that was made in my youth.
Most students who leave the courtroom typically have consequences, like taking life skills sessions or doing community service, or even having to write an essay. You can learn more about this program by visiting our website.
All righty, one final look at the 7-day forecast. A little gray out there this morning after the rain showers moved over the Piedmont in the nighttime hours. But those showers have moved out, and I think as we head through the morning and into the afternoon, a little more in the way of sunshine. It's not going to completely clear, but we'll see more of a mix of sun and clouds. That afternoon heating, as we warm into the mid-80s, could spark an isolated shower or thunderstorm. Fairly low chance today and really tomorrow as well, back into the mid-80s. But look what happens by Thursday, Friday, and the weekend. We're going to cool it off as a little weak cold front moves through later tomorrow. That'll settle just to our south, dropping us back into the upper 70s by Thursday and Friday, and by the weekend only around the 80-degree mark. Moisture is expected to kind of override or overrun that front, and I think that's going to keep at least some chance of scattered showers in the forecast right on through Thursday, Friday, and the weekend, but not an all-day rain or anything like that. But right now we're looking at about a 40% chance, and we'll, of course, continue to update that weekend forecast as we go through the rest of the week. It's only Tuesday. For many of you, you're thinking, oh, it feels so much like Monday. So we got a few days to kind of clean that weekend up a little bit. You know, we got the Folk Festival that's coming into town. I noticed they've already really started constructing the stages in downtown Greensboro. So fingers crossed that the weather is going to cooperate for that wonderful event in downtown Greensboro this weekend.
Yeah, there's also the September 11th Memorial Stair Climb.
Yes.
That always happens in Greensboro. I know Wake Forest University does the one with their stadium, and people climb the stadium seating. And that is a lot.
We can never forget that day.
We can never forget. All right, so as we begin your work week this Tuesday, we have to say goodbye, but we'll be back tomorrow for more great conversations and, of course, your After GMS and forecast tomorrow. Take care.